Hello, beautiful light-filled souls. My name is Trisha Barker. I would like to thank you, first of all, for being a community for me and for your supportive comments about depression. I want to jump in and talk about some of the energetic changes that I've gone through and also just talk about healing and depression and how these circumstances are definitely individual. So each answer is individual because just like our fingerprint and our lives and our individual lives, we are made up of a certain set of circumstances. So one catch-all phrase doesn't work for every person, but there are some similarities that we all can benefit from. And the biggest one that I always come back to is that love of God. So sometimes we confuse the love of God and say, hey, heal this one thing, or I need money, or I need this, or I need that. And we're asking for the flow of God, but it's not asking, hey, God, just be in my life, reign into my life, give me the power that I need to be a positive influence on the world around me, to create harmony, to create peace within myself, around me, and in the world. And when you're in that flow of God in that way, then greater healing comes than when you're holding on to the attachment of what you want or how you want God to work in your life. So I believe that a lot of near death experiencers, myself included, are just reminding people, and many people who are spiritual teachers are reminding people, hey, put your focus on the divine, put your focus on that love of God. So, a friend of mine I was talking with this morning who's writing a book, and I can't wait for this book. I think it will help a lot of people, said something interesting about depression. She said it's caused by not being able to make a decision. So if you suffer a great life stressor and you just feel slapped down, and then little stressors build up, and then anxiety becomes a part of your field, and then your mind spirals down this rabbit hole of why is this all happening to me? Oh, I'm so tired. And then there's physical issues that compound things. It can get a little bit intense. But if you make a decision, and even if that decision is small, and I have crawled out of major depressive episodes through making positive steps and positive decisions, even if that's going to the store and getting magnesium to help me sleep, even if that is making an appointment with a counselor, even if that is going, okay, I'm going to insist that I change up my course schedule and I'm going to teach in this way, whatever it is, big, small, little steps. First, you have to make a decision. What are you committed to? Commit to your life. So you are alive. You are a child of God. You are in the flow of God. Commit to it. And, if you change directions along the way, so be it. But I know that that is the step out of depression, and also reclaiming parts of yourself. Many of us lose good practices that we have done at other parts in our life. And I'm glad that I have the wisdom of a certain amount of time on earth, because I can look back and go, wow, when I was keeping a journal, when I was making a gratitude list, when I was deeply involved in community, I was happier. This, for my life right now, I am not teaching because I have a semester off for faculty leave to write a book. And so I've been at the computer and I've been traveling and researching, and I haven't been in community as much. And I think that affected my depression. So I'm going to make an effort to create community and to be in community more often. So many of us let fear and stress build up, and then it gets to be too much. And there's so many different ways to deal with that. Of course, I talk about nature as one way to begin releasing some of that, but sometimes it helps to have a particular healer or energy worker help you and assist you to get to a place where you want to get to release some of that anxiety and fear that has built up. Then also meditation is important, and most of all, being in that flow of God. So therapy, exercise, all the traditional things are important, but love and hope and healing and taking steps in the right direction begin to make a difference. And maybe they don't make a difference for a few weeks or a few months, but if you keep walking in the right direction, things begin to unravel. And I can't say enough about how grateful I am to the great therapist of this world, the great energy workers of this world, and most of all, that knowing that God is there and God's love is like Niagara Falls of love. In fact, if you want to take a moment and you want to visualize like that much love raining down into your life, like a waterfall that is so profound and so powerful that it just drenches every bit of you, then that is what God's love is like. And it's all around us. It's in nature, it's with us now. You are completely protected, you are completely safe, you are completely loved. And when you think about how much love wants to pour into you, I can't help but laugh. I mean, because we make it all so complicated, don't we? We make it all so difficult when God's love is right there waiting for us. So I appreciate all the emails and the connections that I've made. I've had great suggestions from people. One person emailed me about self-awareness and how important that is. And certainly I've been practicing that more and really realizing how my mind can be creating negative thoughts, which in turn affect my body and then make me feel anxious and depressed. And so, as always, it's like taking that negative mindset away for a moment and just being the observer and going, you know what, I'm here eating dinner. I'm chewing. I'm looking at this food. My life is pretty good. I have great people around me. I have wonderful friends. I have a great job. I am excited about my next projects in life. Life is good. But we forget that when we get caught up in the mind dramas and the anxieties. The past and the future can certainly weigh on us at times. So be here in the now and go enjoy some beautiful nature. It's still very hot in Texas. This is a screensaver from a trip to North Carolina. I think it was a garden outside, maybe botanical gardens outside of Raleigh, Durham a few years ago when I was there, but beautiful place. I'd like to have a garden like that in my backyard and take people to meditate. But since I don't have that yet, what I am going to do is try to create community. So this Thursday at noon, I'm going to talk more about some of the energetic changes that I felt coming this week. I think it's kind of a difficult week of releasing some things from your own self, and that might be releasing some of your depression or anxiety or just attachments to ideas that aren't working for you and making your life flow with greater ease, whatever it is, whether it's a large thing that you have to let go of or just a small way of being that isn't benefiting you anymore. I want to talk about release, but also what we're choosing. And I want to do a meditation and really bring in that energy of God to work through each of us, both as individuals who are influenced in this world and in community. Because one thing that I constantly think about, and I think many near-death experiencers do, is I'm not in competition with anyone. I am in community with everyone because that love of God flows into my life just as powerfully, and it can flow in as it can flow into yours, that it can flow into all of us. And as we make a difference in this world, then we see how community really, really does begin to heal us. And this is something I've thought about for a very, very long time. You know, at the toughest times in my life, if you've read my memoir, you know, coming back from South Korea after some pretty tough blows and being shocked by this world, I knew that I was going to heal in community. And I knew it. I just didn't know how to become a part of it or find that community right away. But I knew that that was part of my journey. And I think it's part of all of our journeys. So if you would like to join me on Thursday, I will send you the Zoom link and we can spend some of the time, I'll just briefly talk, and then I'll lead a meditation. And then you are such a wonderful resource, so many of you. So I want you to tell your stories, ask questions, and just create community. If you can't make it and you still like to be a part of it, you can buy the recorded link and I'll put that below. But I really would love to connect with you and to focus on healing and both release and bringing in that love. But I look forward to that moment. And if you have tried to schedule a reading with me, I'm a little bit busy, but we can also use that Q&A time for intuitive messages. We can use it for whatever you want, at the end of that hour and 20 minutes. So I look forward to connecting with you, and whether I see you or not, I hope you have a blessed week and that this was a good reminder that healing is always possible, and it's certainly possible as we pull in more and more of that enormous love of God. But thank you very much, and may you be blessed.